38-10, the final score. Tennessee falls to Georgia, the top-ranked Bulldogs. It was not fun. I have a lot of thoughts. I have a lot of reactions. And I have some stats that are truly telling about third down defense. It's your POSTCAST, Locked On Vols.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys for being here. POSTCAST edition of Locked On Vols, recapping Tennessee's 38-10 loss to the top-ranked Bulldogs. As always, thanks so much for listening and following us wherever you get your podcast. The push to 10K on YouTube. We are under 300 subscribers away to getting 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, guys. Please, let's get there by the end of football season. So we got some work to do in the next week. And if you're already subscribed, I can't thank you enough for that. I want to give some instant thoughts, some instant reactions, if you will. Again, having gone back and watched the tape, I haven't really done a deep dive into the football game yet. That's on Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. I did write a column Saturday night, and I'm going to share some of that that I wrote over at volquest.com. But, you know, first and foremost, I think the phrase I want to say here is, it is what it is. And I know that's frustrating. You're at the end here in year 3. I think a lot of us, if we said Tennessee was going to be 8-4 with a chance to win 9 games in a bowl game at the end of year 3 in January and early February of 2021, with everything going on in the program and all the players you lost and the recruiting cloud and all, or the NCAA punishment cloud, I think you sign up for that in a heartbeat. And I'm not trying to just dismiss this here. I recognize last year happened and expectations change. And deservedly so, because you won 10 games in the regular season. You won 11 games in the New Year's Six Bowl game. You beat Alabama. You beat Florida. A lot happened last year, so expectations can change. So I recognize that. But I get the frustrations losing like this in year 3. I will say this. I expected Tennessee to get beat pretty handily. Did I expect Tennessee to lose by 28? Maybe not. But did I expect this to be a Tennessee cover of the 10.5? Hell no. I don't know why that line was so low. I'm trying to be rude here, but I mean, there's no reason for that line to be so low from FanDuel or from any other book out there. And so I thought this would be a Georgia win by a couple of touchdowns, and unfortunately it was. Having said all that, I mean, it's just Georgia's the best team in the country. And I don't think it's close. I don't think it's close at all. I think Georgia's the best team in the country. I think it just keeps getting better and better. I said all this last week. Saw it firsthand on Saturday night. One of its best players, receiver Ladd McConkey, didn't even play him, didn't even suit him up. And the guy that played for Ladd McConkey was Dylan Bell, who had 7 receptions for 145 yards coming into the game. And he went off, threw a touchdown, caught a touchdown, was one of the leading receivers for Georgia. That's just kind of where you are if you're Georgia right now. Excuse me. It's where you are. I mean, you've stacked up recruiting class after recruiting class after recruiting class. Number one, maybe number 3. You got a really good culture. You got NFL talent. So everything Georgia is right now is what Tennessee and everybody else in the country is striving to get to. So I think if Tennessee played Georgia 10 times out of 10, Tennessee loses this year 10 times out of 10. It is what it is. I think if Tennessee played Georgia last year, Tennessee would win a couple of those 10 times, but it just is what it is. So it was expected, but it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt anymore if you're a Tennessee fan, or any less if you're a Tennessee fan. It doesn't mean it's less frustrating if you're a Tennessee fan, because again, you don't want to be losing like this to one of the big 3 at the end of year 3. I recognize that. But you're just not as good as you were. I think it shows that, quarterback play, you've got to have good quarterback play to win in college football. I think Tennessee's got a quarterback in Joe Milton that's good to slightly below average, but he's not great. He's certainly not elite, and he's not the reason you're winning football games like so many other teams with really elite and good quarterbacks are. Just kind of is what it is. I mean, there's a couple themes from this game, and we'll get into it. We'll get into it as this postcast show goes on. I'm going to do 2 segments. Tennessee was horrendous on third down, just horrendous on third down this football game, both offensively and defensively. And I went back and pulled some numbers in 4 losses this year. Tennessee's been really, really bad, shocker, on third downs. How bad? It's really bad. I'm going to share those numbers with you here in a moment. But third downs, both offensively and defensively, were bad. Injuries are a part of the game. Josh Heupel said after in his post-game press conference that nobody's feeling sorry for you. The game, I forgot the exact phrase. We said the game is not feeling sorry for you. But Tennessee has beat the crap up right now. You got Tennessee on one hand, okay? Brew McCoy out for the season. Dante Thornton, when he was just starting to come around, out for the season now, okay? You've got your two starting offensive tackles that are not available, and that's a whole thing about Mincy coming in at the end of the game that I want to sound off on. But you have your two starting offensive tackles that aren't healthy enough to play in this football game. All right, and you're already less explosive than you were last year. Defensively, starting safety is not playing in this game. Your starting star is not playing in this game. Your backup star gets hurt 3 plays in. You're playing a walk-on at the star position against the number 1 ranked team in the country, and he played about 70 snaps. I'll look at his Pro Football Focus grade tomorrow. I know he wasn't perfect. There were a couple plays where I saw that it was really bad from him, but I'll tell you what, Will Brooks played well, in my opinion. Will Brooks played his butt off. That grade might not reflect it. I'm sure of that. But Will Brooks played his butt off. And Tennessee played hard. Tennessee did play hard. It just goes to show you how different the two programs are right now from a talent perspective. But you got Tennessee that's beat up right now. You got Tennessee that's playing its worst football its last 2 weeks. Then you have Georgia that's getting healthier. Brock Bowers comes back. Amarius Mims comes back. Some of these guys are getting healthier and healthier, getting better and better. And it's just two teams kind of going in opposite directions right now. So I guess when I was walking out of Neyland Stadium about 10 o'clock after I got done with all my work the other night, tonight, I'm recording this Saturday night, late Saturday night, I wasn't shocked that Tennessee lost by a couple of scores. But I recognize that this isn't what you want at the end of year 3. And now you got to beat Vanderbilt and you're 8-4. I had Tennessee at 9-3. I had Tennessee at 9-3 thinking Tennessee would take a slight step back offensively. And it would take a step in areas like special teams and defense. And for the most part, I think it has kind of followed that suit. But I think more than anything, you're looking at walking out of Neyland Stadium Saturday night saying, okay, Georgia's good. Georgia's the best team in the country. You play this 10 more times, Georgia's probably going to win. But why on earth could Tennessee not finish and beat Alabama, beat Florida, and drop a goose egg at Missouri? That's the most frustrating thing, I feel like, walking out of Neyland Stadium Saturday night. So it is what it is, man. We'll continue on, and we'll have loads and loads of more total reaction on Monday's Locked On Vols. But some third down stats coming up here on the second half, and why Tennessee just couldn't get anything going offensively. That and a whole lot more as we continue on with this postcast edition of Locked On Vols. I want to tell you about our friends over at eBay. Passion, drive, patience. What brings home the winning trophy is also what keeps your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. From superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED headlights, and more, whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has got you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay's Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money is back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts that you need at the prices you want, it's easy to turn your car into the MVP and bring home that win. Keep your ride or die alive today at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply. eBay Motors or eBay Guaranteed Fit only available for U.S. customers. So a big thanks to eBay and also big thanks to Game Time. You shouldn't have to worry about when buying tickets to your next big event. Game Time is a fast and easy way to buy tickets for all sports, music, comedy, theater events near you. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seats, and the best price guarantee, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. All-in prices show your total up front so you know exactly what great deal you're getting without the hidden fees. Buy tickets in seconds with 2 taps. I use Game Time to buy sporting events, tickets to 40 events in my area, Thomas Bowling Arena, Neyland Stadium, Lindsey Nelson Stadium, but also shows, concerts, the Tennessee Theater, okay? There's a lot of things around Knoxville where I live that I can go on and buy tickets to from Game Time. And you can as well. Download the Game Time app, create an account, use the promo code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off. Download Game Time today. Last minute tickets, lowest price guaranteed. All right, guys, welcome back into your postcast edition of Locked On Vols. Tennessee Vols 38-10. And there's a whole lot to get into. I'm just going to try to hit the highlights in this because, we'll come back as we always do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, just because Thanksgiving's on Thursday. Going to have 5. I'm going to have an episode for you every single weekday morning this week. The holiday won't change that. And we're going to finish off this regular season on a high note. Third downs, abysmal. Both sides of the football, Tennessee. 2 of 11. 2 of 11 is what Tennessee's offense did on third downs against Georgia, while Tennessee's defense allowed 9 of 13 to Georgia's offense on third downs, meaning Georgia converted on 9 of its 13 opportunities on third down against Tennessee's defense. Just not good whatsoever. All right, coming into the ball game, Tennessee's defense. So Tennessee's opponents in 4 losses. 3 losses coming into the ball game. 3 losses. So the Florida game, the Missouri game, the Alabama game. Opponents averaged 52% on third downs, converting on 23 of 44 opportunities. Add 9 of 13 to the rate that Georgia did to Tennessee's defense, and that is a 32 of 57 or 56% in 4 games where the Vols didn't get the outcome that they wanted. So opponents are converting on 56% of third downs in the 4 losses. In Tennessee's 4 losses this year. That is way too high on third down. Quarterbacks, Carson Beck, he in this football game, he scrambled for 2 first downs on third downs. Brady Cook, he scrambled for 3 first downs on third downs last week. Those 2 games, Missouri and Georgia, combined for 53 first downs. Converting a lot of third downs. 53 first downs in 2 games alone. Put that in perspective a little bit. Tennessee allowed 69 first downs in the first 4 games of the season back in September. The defensive struggles on Saturday really kind of puzzling because Tennessee's defense won first and second down. Listen to these numbers. This is Saturday against Georgia, okay? Georgia averaged 3rd and 7.5 yards. 3rd and 7.5 yards on 13 third downs faced, okay? Georgia had 3 third downs facing 4 yards or less. So Tennessee's defense did a good job making third and long. 13 of the let's see here. In fact, of the 13 third downs, six of those were from 7+ yards to gain. Tennessee literally just couldn't get off the field. Just couldn't get off the field on third downs. Tennessee's offense wasn't much better. Okay, so Tennessee's offense on third downs in 4 losses this season, converting 40%, okay? Let's see here. But on Saturday, it was just 2 of 11, which is 18% on third downs. The past 2 games in particular, on third downs, Tennessee's offense has converted just 7 of 24 third down attempts. 7 of 24 third down attempts. That's just 29%. It's not good. So the theme here is, offensively, defensively, Tennessee is just not winning third downs in losses. Go figure, right? But it's really, really bad. And specifically, the last 2 games, Missouri and Georgia, have been just really, really bad. So I wrote about that over at VolQuest.com. My headline was third downs all around. Not good for Tennessee. I was kind of liking that headline. I'm not going to lie to you. I encourage you to go check that out. But just some not good stuff. And that was a theme for Tennessee. Another theme was the injuries. And I want to touch on 2 more things before we get done. A lot of people are, getting a little crazy about Nico in the comments about Josh Heupel, pretty much indicating that Nico's going to redshirt this year. That was not always the plan. They had no plans to redshirt Nico. We asked Josh Heupel several times, training camp, early in the season, and he said that they don't have plans to redshirt Nico. They don't have plans to redshirt Nico. But as the season unwinded, you get here towards the end of the year, and you're like, all right, well, he's played in 3 games. The bowl game doesn't count, and so it just, right now it doesn't matter anymore because you play against Vanderbilt, you still get a red shirt. Like it doesn't matter at this point. So, of course they're going to slap a red shirt on him, but that doesn't change anything. He can still play against Vanderbilt, and he can still play in the bowl game. They changed that rule last year about the bowl game, how the bowl game won't count against you because so many opt-outs are forcing young guys to burn their red shirts and play in that game. Fact of the matter is, though, if he is who we think that he is, Nico's not going to be here 5 years, so it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter, right? And still, there should have been so many more opportunities where Nico played. Last week against Missouri in the 4th quarter, should have played. The Austin Peay game, should have played. Tonight, he should have played. I mean, there's no reason for having your starters in Georgia, too. Having Carson Beck in late in the 4th quarter makes no sense. I just think I don't think Tennessee planned on redshirting Nico the entire season. I mean, Nico's the backup quarterback. If something happens to Joe, Nico's going in and playing football. That's fact of the matter. For the most part, Joe's been pretty healthy this football season, so it hadn't had to come to that. But that was one of the post-game interactions that a lot of people were kind of drawn to after the loss. So anyway, we'll talk more about that next week. And then lastly, I'll just end with this. I was not a fan. My phone keeps vibrating. If you can hear it, I'm sorry. I'm in a group chat, and it's annoying as hell right now. I was not a fan of Gerald Mincey coming in and playing in this football game. So Gerald Mincey's your starting right tackle. John Campbell's your starting left tackle. Both of those guys dressed out, went through warm-ups, but did not participate in team stuff in warm-ups and were deemed as available only if needed in emergency situations. I mean, they're banged up. I'm not saying they're not. But down 4 scores late in the fourth quarter, and when Dane Davis gets hurt, you deem that an emergency situation that you need to play Gerald Mincey? I mean, what are you doing? That is a horrible, horrible look. Why not let a freshman or a sophomore get in there and get a rep at offensive tackle when you're down 4 scores in the fourth quarter? If Gerald Mincey was not healthy enough to play in the first 3 quarters, then why was he healthy enough to go in there and play whenever you were in an emergency situation there in the fourth quarter? Makes no sense to me. I thought that was just, a bad look. I'll just leave it at that. I thought that was a really, really bad look. We'll continue to talk about this Monday, Tuesday's Locked On Vols. We'll look ahead to Vanderbilt, of course. There's plenty more that I didn't even discuss, and that's why you need to tune in to Monday's Locked On Vols. It was, listen, guys, it's disappointing. I get it. You got your brains beat in. At the end of the day, your offense has scored 2 touchdowns. Your offense has scored a combined 17 points in the last 2 football games. That's not good. That is flat out embarrassing, to be completely honest with you. It's not good. And once again, Tennessee shut out in the second half. Didn't score a point in the second half of a football game. So I get it. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. You fan how you want to fan. I get it. I recognize that. But in the grand scheme of things, in terms of win-loss, in my opinion, Tennessee was never winning this football game. But I recognize it still doesn't hurt any less watching it unfold the way it did. So it's what it is. You need to rebound. You need to beat the tar out of Vanderbilt next weekend. You need to finish 8-4, and then we can reassess everything this offseason. But you need to get that win against a team that you're much better than and finish with an 8-4 record. And how many times over the last 15 years as a Tennessee fan were you longing for an 8-4 record? Not trying to say that's a consolation. Just things have been much, much worse, even though it feels pretty bad right now. Final score 38-10, Tennessee falls to number 1 Georgia. Hey, again, we'll have so much more on Monday's Locked On Vols. I encourage you to be there for me. Push the 10K. If you're listening, if you're watching, you have a YouTube account, and you're not subscribed to Locked On Vols, please go help me out. Push the 10K. Let's get it before the end of the regular season. Really, really trying to make that a priority this week, so I can't thank you enough for helping me out with that. We'll come back. I'll share what I learned on the rewatch and a whole lot more. Tons more to talk about on Monday's Locked On Vols. See you then, guys.